Welcome to Ballet Bites, daily 10-minute deep dives. Today we're unpacking the pressures of high-stakes ballet competitions for young dancers.
Absolutely, these events like Prix de Lausanne or Youth America Grand Prix, it's crazy how they've turned into such huge launch pads for careers, right?
Oh, totally. I mean, you look at it. On one hand, these competitions open doors with scholarships, international exposure, major company connections. But on the other hand, they put immense pressure on teenagers.
Right, and when you think about it, we're talking about bodies that are still growing and minds that are, still figuring out who they are.
Exactly. You have these young dancers diving headfirst into a competition pressure cooker. Imagine being 15 and trying to nail those technical feats while dealing with the stress of global judgment.
Yeah, it's almost like being thrown into a storm without an umbrella. But I do wonder, isn't this pressure also partly what fuels their rapid technical improvements?
Sure, it pushes them to achieve.
Yeah.
But does that progress come at the cost of their physical and emotional well-being? Overuse injuries like tendon or joint damage are real concerns.
And it's not just the psychological toll of being constantly in the spotlight, judged for every misstep. It really can distort a young dancer's self-worth, right?
Absolutely. And that brings us to our next pressing point. Do early wins actually set the stage for a sustainable career?
I mean, sure, a win in these competitions can be a ticket to scholarships and contracts. But is that enough to guarantee a long-term future in ballet?
That's the crunch of it. Early success might open a door, but does it nurture the comprehensive growth necessary, both artistically and physically, for lasting success? Often, dancers peak early, and then, they struggle to evolve once the initial spotlight fades.
That's a tough nut to crack. Some dancers ride that early momentum, while others burn out before their real potential is realized. It's like getting a head start in a race, but then never building the stamina to finish.
Exactly. And speaking of development, there's a real debate about whether the emphasis on technical prowess in these contests is overshadowing something crucial: true artistry.
Right. I mean, think about it. Competitions push for those dazzling leaps, rapid spins, and complex turns. It's all about the visual wow factor.
Yeah, it's like, the flashiness is celebrated over the soulful, emotional storytelling that needs room to grow. It's like a dancer could have the perfect technique but might miss that emotional spark.
And that's where I kind of wonder, if companies start looking at dancers just for that technical sparkle, are they sacrificing the deep narrative artistry that truly defines ballet?
Right. And honestly, I sometimes think that too much emphasis on flashy trickery might send the wrong message. It reminds me of spending hours perfecting a magic trick without ever caring for the story behind it, if you know what I mean.
I get that. But isn't it also important to consider that technical mastery is the foundation, like the bedrock for genuine artistic expression? You can't tell a story if your body isn't in control.
True. Yet, there's a fine line here. The point is, technical feats are necessary, but they shouldn't be the sole focus. A dancer's journey should also cultivate emotional maturity, nuance, and, genuine artistry.
Absolutely. And that leads us right into a very timely question. Are there healthier pathways into professional ballet than relying solely on these high-stakes contests?
Yes, there are alternatives. Think long-term school programs, apprenticeships with companies, supportive regional mentorships, even smaller festivals that focus more on holistic growth rather than just that burst of high-pressure performance.
Yeah.
They offer a gradual evolution in both technical and artistic prowess.
That makes so much sense. It's like choosing a long marathon over a short sprint. It's about endurance, sustained development, and ultimately building a career that's both grounded and rewarding in the long run.
Absolutely. And just to highlight another important aspect, these alternatives can help mitigate the risk of overuse injuries. When you de-emphasize the pressure to achieve peak performance overnight, you give the body and the mind a chance to grow naturally.
And they also incorporate more mentorship and, personalized guidance that can adapt to each dancer's unique pace.
Exactly. It's like crafting a tailored training plan, one that integrates technical training with artistic exploration, rather than just focusing on the wow elements.
Right.
And it's a balance that might ultimately lead to deeper, more sustainable careers.
I appreciate that point, but I do find myself a bit skeptical. Do you really think these alternative approaches can completely replace the allure of big competitions? After all, those international contests are high profile and create buzz.
That's a solid challenge. And honestly, it's not about completely replacing them. It's about offering diverse pathways. Big competitions will always have their place, but having balanced, holistic programs means dancers aren't forced to choose between rapid exposure and long-term health and artistry. It's more about expanding options.
Right, I see where you're coming from. It's a call for a richer ecosystem. Instead of one rigid gateway, we need multiple entry points to professional ballet that don't all rely on the same old stress-inducing structure.
Exactly. It's like the difference between a fast food meal and a home-cooked feast. One might be quick and flashy, but the other nourishes you for the long haul.
I like that analogy. It really sums it up. And it really makes you think about what kind of career dancers really want to build. Is it that brief burst of, visibility? Or is it a journey of long-term artistic development?
Yeah, and it all circles back to these 4 key questions. The intensity of pressure on teenage dancers, the long-term benefits of early wins, the balance between technical prowess and artistry, and alternative, healthier pathways. Each of these angles feeds into the broader picture of building a sustainable career in ballet.
And for every dancer and every family, the answer might differ. It's a very personal journey, and what works for one might not work for another.
Precisely. And the dialogue, like we're having right now, is essential. Open conversations help shine a light on both the benefits and the risks associated with these high-pressure competitions.
And I really encourage dancers, educators, and families out there to consider not only the immediate rewards, but also the long-term implications. What if that early flair just leads to burnout? It's something to really keep in mind.
Absolutely. It's time to ask, what kind of professional life do you really want to build? Is it just a flash in the spotlight? Or is it a career enriched with deep artistry, health, and longevity? That's the million-dollar question.
And maybe that's where more partnerships between companies and schools can make a big difference. Focusing on extended training rather than a single snapshot moment could really help shape more resilient careers.
Exactly. It's like, instead of a quick photo finish, you build a lasting masterpiece, one brush stroke at a time. That artistic development, nurtured gradually, is what truly sustains a dancer over the decades.
I agree. And I really hope that conversations like ours push the industry to embrace these healthier, more holistic pathways.
Me too. Listeners, whether you're a dancer, a parent, or just a ballet fanatic, keep these questions in mind as you follow your own journeys in the arts. It's all about balance.
Absolutely. And hey, don't forget to drop your thoughts and join the backstage chat. Your opinions matter as much as any headline win.
That's it for today's deep dive on Ballet Bites. Remember, cherish technical brilliance, but never lose sight of soulful artistry and well-being. Until next time, keep dancing your own beautiful story.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Stay inspired and keep the conversation alive.